Ah ha ha! There we go. Should be back now. Can we all hear me now? That hopefully is better. I was trying to. There we go. Come on, you guys should be able to hear me now. Maybe. Boom. Well, I'm going to re-explain everything I was just talking about then, because that means I was talking to myself. And don't get me wrong, I like talking to myself. It happens often enough. But yeah, I just basically all I was saying today is that I'm not really seeing a whole lot that tickles my fancy. We got CYPH, which honestly is like the kind of best setup. And even that, so you got to understand, for those of you guys who don't know what CYPH is, basically its underlying asset, from my understanding, is Zcash, which has just been on this crazy tear lately. So, and it does look primed for a breakout, no doubt about that. It just doesn't look like anything that I'm going to be super excited about. Let me get this up here. So CYPH, one of its underlying assets is Zcash, which again, for those of you guys who have not seen Zcash, this is the underlying ETF for Zcash. The thing has gone completely parabolic. All right. So this is an OTC, but Zcash is a cryptocurrency. It's a privacy-based cryptocurrency. It's gone from roughly $3 a share to $55 a share. The real crypto, I believe, is up to 700s, I think. Zcash, ZC. What are we up to? 600. It's in the 600 range right now. To be completely honest, this ETF doesn't do the best job at kind of demonstrating Zcash's chart. It's pretty close. It's fairly close. Actually, it's pretty close. Although Zcash did just break out, ZCSH is not broken out. So we'll see. But anyways, it's kind of the underlying asset of CYPH, which makes sense as to why it's got some extra movement there. That's my understanding of it, at least. We had a third-day surge on Friday, maybe a multi-day breakout today. It's green. I'm just not super sold on it, to be completely fair with, or to be completely honest with you. Not super sold on taking this trade. So that's like all I've got. That's kind of the unfortunate part. Today's slow. We've got Amex. I know we've got some gappers, but to be honest, they're not gappers that I really want to be a part of. They're moving kind of sketchy. Market's definitely, the overall S&P 500, the SPY, gave back most of its weekend futures gap. Feels weak. It just feels weak. So again, I know I sound like a broken record whenever I come on here, but right now, wait for the good setups to show themselves. CGTL, what do we have here? This is a new one. I don't like that. Maybe it turns into something. One way to find out. So yeah, I mean, CYPH is the only thing I'm going to kind of watch today. Kind of is the key word there. And just hope we can get some action, some movement. So CYPH, we got the daily. We got a small gap on the daily, about 11%. I don't have a plan for any real trade right now. By the way, just to make that clear, I don't have any current trade plan. Because I don't think the market really calls for anything right now. Not to say we can't come up with something on the spot if a trade does show up, but CMBM, no, just bouncing. So anyways, got the chat up here. Yeah, listen, CYPH, if you can't trade it on Trade Funder, it's probably not the end of the world. I'll tell you that right now. Again, I don't have a trade plan on this. I'll watch it, but I don't really have a reason to trade it. I love that. Tactical trading. Spot on. Tactical trading says, I've only made a handful of trades last month. I had a great year. Why give any back? Market has been so lately. I caught open that last week and that was it. I'm in the same exact boat. I was talking to Matt Monaco this morning, and Matt actually I do think did want to join today, but he's got some errands to run, as do I right after this. His errands just didn't unfortunately line up with mine. You got to understand, guys, listen, and I just want to, take a second here and kind of going for or adding on to what tactical trading was saying. I know we all like to give Matt a little bit of crap for not showing up here and whatever. But the truth is, we all, when the market is slow, if you have a problem with over trading, you really need to find a way to get yourself away from the market for a little bit. Like that's something that I've learned. I'm doing better with over trading now. Like now I can sit in front of my screen and have better patience. And that's why I hope to be here with you guys. I met a lot of you last week or two at the Inner Circle. And you guys said one of the best things that has helped so far being here is just the aspect of patience, right? And so if you do struggle with that, and it's something I've struggled with for a long time, and I feel like finally in the last year, I've gotten better at that patience aspect. You got to find a way to take yourself and remove yourself from the market, keep yourself busy, go to the gym, go, if you work a job, go work. But that's like, this is why, it's no fun. It's no fun when the market's this slow, but it's amazing practice is really what it is. Really good practice for just sitting on your hands, letting stocks make their moves, not having FOMO. And that's why, if you can, you should sit here and watch. But if you're going to take trades, it's better to not lose money, in my opinion. CYPH, you guys, I saw some of you guys like, oh, I can't trade it. Good. There's no trade on it right now. They're very well, I can tell, even if there is a trade on this stock, and I'll tell you this is kind of what we'll do a lot of today, just kind of talking through my thought process, like looking in slow markets. But even if a trade sets up today, I expect it to be choppy. Why? Well, we kind of broke out of yesterday's highs right here in pre-market just to instantly give it back. And now we're down kind of near yesterday's support. Let me know in the chat. Does this look like a clean breakout? The answer to that question is no. Why would we expect future breakouts on it to be clean? We wouldn't, right? We wouldn't. So that's my take. I just want to kind of give you my perspective on this and let you know that you're not alone if the market's been feeling choppy, if you've been, good. Ruth says here, I've been doing other stuff and just keeping an eye on the markets. Yeah, listen, show up every morning. Show up every morning. That's not an excuse to just leave and never look. But if there's nothing showing up after 9:30, skedaddle. Go and study. You guys should all be studying every single day, by the way. Every day you should be doing review. That's how you're going to get better. IVVD. Carlos says, any other stocks? Morning income algo didn't give me anything this morning. Didn't give you anything this morning because the market sucks right now. I know I'm sounding like Debbie Downer. It's really fine. We're going to be setting up for a good market. There is no doubt about it. We're close, right? December, January, February, they're always great. November's are hit or miss. Right now, it's more of a miss. That's okay. And, even still, there were good pre-market moves. It wasn't easy. This wasn't an easy pre-market move, but it was a pre-market move nonetheless. I wanted to keep an eye on GLMD as well. Something I might short at a different time, but CYPH, look, now, okay, to be fair, this is kind of the dip and rip. If a trader was going to take an attempt, this is probably where they'd want to enter. Just because that's how this trade has worked for the last couple of days, right? We had dip and rip right here Friday, and then we had the same thing on Wednesday. We had that dip and rip. Realistically, a trader who's bullish on this chart, this is going to be the first entry spot here around 313, risking 280. I'm just not bullish on the chart. I'm really not bullish on the market. That's really more what it is. I'm just not bullish on the market. But it's okay. So yeah, I thought it seems every time I have a day off and more time to trade, it's always slow. It's not to solo you out here, because we all have this, but it's just recent. I'm going to sound like I know what I'm talking about here. Recency bias. We all have recency bias, right? Like the market will change in a month, and all of a sudden you'll be like, hell yeah, I got a day off today. Time to trade. But like for the last month, it's been like every day you got a day off. The market's slow. That's because every day the market has been pretty slow, not just the days you have off. You'll forget about it in a month. The market will be hot, month or two, hopefully closer to a month, but don't worry about it. Listen, it's going to get better. Okay. That's the one thing I've learned too. I'm just going to spitball here. I'm just going to spitfire, because there's not much else to do. And I'll just keep an eye on the markets. AMX is breaking out, by the way. Like, again, there are opportunities. It's just, to me, these aren't easy. They're 50-50. They're not worth my money. You know, on a day like today, at least in my opinion, this is my take. You can't afford to make a mistake. These are the periods of trading where I used to lose money. And what I've learned is that you don't need to make money every day as a day trader. You need to not lose money on the days where it's hard. And so for me, like, I just think it's not worth, you can't make a mistake on a day like today. You won't find another trade to make your money back on. You can afford to be loose when the market's hot. You can afford to be slapping things. Right now, you're screwed. Good luck. So for me, I just try to stay patient on days like today, and I'd rather not take a trade, or, you know, if I take one trade and I win on it, doesn't need to be a home run, take the money, walk away. So anyhow, I don't remember where I was going with that. I need more coffee. And my coffee is right here, so I can take more coffee. You know, days like today, for me anyways, are really big review days. Yeah, listen, you know, not to just keep, there's a saying somewhere in my head. Not to keep saying the same thing. I don't have the saying. I don't have the thing in my head, but I think as a new trader or a newer trader or a trader who's still finding consistency and profitability, there is this urge that oh yeah, you know, I heard a great quote in my workshop. By the way, we had an awesome workshop this weekend. I highly encourage you guys to come to the next one if you couldn't make this one. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. More importantly, lots of learning. But you know, this workshop is hosted with a couple of my team members that work with me over here at Stocks to Trade, and beating a dead horse. Thank you. That was the saying. Thank you. But my friend said something really, really good, Trey, for those of you guys that were there. You know, he says, it's not impossible to get rich quick. You can get rich quick. The problem is when your mindset is quick, get rich, right? And that to me was like a really, really impactful thing, because I always tell people this: getting rich quick is not impossible. But I never really knew, like, what's that distinction? Because relatively speaking, I made a lot of money very quick. It wasn't overnight, and it did take a lot of time and, you know, to learn how to do this. But once those pieces were set in stone, things can really take off. But I didn't have that quick get rich mindset. Instead, I had that let's learn when the time's right, then we attack. And so for me, that was just, I wanted to share that here, because, you know, when you're a newer trader and the market's slow, but you feel like you need to trade because you're falling behind because you're not making money, you're actually falling behind by losing money on a slow day. Right? AMIX, sweet breakout that was, right? Like, you take that and you're screwed. The other problem is you short that and it rips. So, I mean, like, it's right now, again, I just don't have much conviction on either side. But, like, for me, this is just kind of case in point. GLMD dip and rip? Nah. No, it's too far under VWAP. I mean, it opened too low, I guess is how I mean to say that. VWAP's still up here at like 137. Could it work? Sure. I don't know, but I had zero conviction in this. How much the workshops cost? So there's like a VIP thing that you can get some extra one-on-one time. You're going to get extra learning in there. And I believe there's also like free enrollment though to some of these. I just got started. This is like my second or third workshop, and it looks like this is going to be a pretty regular thing, which I'm excited for because I just love working. Like I love doing trading review. I love like getting to help and watch people actually be a part of that too, and getting to do it together. But I do believe you can actually just enroll for free. Let me see. I don't even know. But you could also do an upgraded package as well. I don't know if this is still up, unfortunately, because we just ended it. There'll be another one next month. Yeah, don't worry. There'll be another one, Barbara. Don't worry. There'll be another. You can join the wait list for the next one. It's in like a month. So I'll talk about it more when we get closer to it, because the currently the link is only a wait list anyway. So, how can I stay up to date on all the workshops coming up? I'll let you know here. Just show up. I'll let you know when they're coming up. I think the next one's mid-December. I think it's like December 14th, December 15th. I don't know. It's one of those weekends, Friday, Saturday. Anyways, I'm just talking about what this was just on my mind because we were doing this just the other day. GLMD, kind of interesting here. Kind of interesting. Again, we're just beaten down under VWAP here. This probably is more of a short area. Like this is not an area that I think I'd want to be hammering long. But this is pretty strong volume. It wasn't that beaten down off of pre-market highs either. Getting a lot of volume churning right here, though. I don't love seeing when we're getting a ton of volume at VWAP, like going into VWAP. That to me tells me that people are trying to buy the VWAP break. And this is the fact that this is where the most volume is coming in is a little bit more concerning. I don't want to be seeing volume accumulating at lows and then pushing, but it's not to say it can't work. Again, it's just like it's very 50-50. For me, I'd much rather wait for this to set up some kind of consolidation. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that now that Amex is dead, now that Amex is halted down, oh boy, that's volume. That is a sketchy candle. That's a very sketchy candle, but it can't break down either. So keeping that in mind. But as I was saying, now that Amex is dying, it does open up room for a new runner to kind of take its place. And GLMD definitely seems to have some sauce there. The fact that is holding up is very impressive. So gotta take that for what it's worth. That to me is feeling sketchy. Get rid of this. Excuse me. CMCT halt up, huh? Oh boy, that's traded 100,000 shares today. I'll pull it up here just because, but I don't know. Yeah, that's it's interesting, but there's no liquidity on that. What's the daily look like? Oh boy. Looks like a much better short, if I'm being honest with you. Like, it looks like a way better short. Not say, I mean, again, anything's possible, but just not really. There's a lot of resistance. And so we go on like I don't know, 5-day chart here. We pop this up here. Yeah, I mean, just halting up right into resistance. I don't know. I don't know. Probably an avoid for me. I'll keep an eye on it. It's moving. It's something that's moving, so that's fun. CGTL sucks. Amex, taking that off too. That sucks. If it works without me, like, so be it. CYPH, okay. I'll just keep an eye on it just because, again. And GLMD, case in point, just choppy garbage. Stuffed view up really hard. That's a lot of volume that came in. Couldn't move. And I'll keep an eye on CMCT. We got a few more minutes, but again, so here's the problem with CMCT, right? Line 1, line 2. We're running straight up into that on like no volume, like roughly no volume. Do we and like look what happened last time it tapped here, right? It just instant failed. 11 down to 8. It fell, however, whatever many percent that is. But if we break out and just halt straight into it, that's a pretty, like, that's not really how you want to see a breakout form. GLMD, this is holding up quite well. I gotta say, impressive. I'm still not ready to just like slap a trade on this, but curious if we can start holding this low right here, right? If we start holding over this low, if we start kind of making a consolidation near VWAP, it's not the worst thing. And again, we don't really have a clean runner right now either. So like the market wants a runner. Amex, all the liquidity is gone from there, at least for now. So maybe we have something. I do want to keep an eye on CMCT. Might be something I consider shorting in one of my other brokers. What do you want to see in a long-term chart to say it looks good? Can you give an example? Also, what's a bad chart? An example of what we'll go over this in a couple more minutes here. CYPH daily chart was great for a multi-day breakout the other day. CMCT, not so good, right? I'll explain this in a minute. I do want to watch CMCT open because if we just swipe straight to 12, I'll probably take a small short into that spike. No, that is a micro float. That's a very small float. So I also need to be like, it's something I want to be really careful about. $172. Yeah, just straight up through that breakout level. Again, not the way we like to see stocks break out. That much is for certain. And GLMD is failing. Well, we're still holding. We're still holding that low. Oh, CMCT smoked. We're halting down. Yeah. Fake halt. Maybe a fake halt down. Shot clock. Shot clock. It's a shot clock stock. The fact it's not halted yet is shocking. Oh, we're going down lower. Okay. Well. Again, right? And I know some of you are like, how did you know it was going to be a fake breakout? And first of all, I didn't know. I never know anything, number one. Second, this could still recover. But most, like, the key reason that I hated this was the volume, right? That was the first thing I said before I even looked at the chart. Volume sucked. Traded 100,000 shares. And then I see that it's got all of this resistance here. It traded tens of millions of shares this day. And we halt straight up, or we go straight up into the breakout level on a day where it trades 100,000 shares. Recipe for disaster, right? CYPH, honestly, GLMD is like taking the crown as something that could turn into a nice little runner. I'm not sold yet This probably is more likely to be a little fake out move here. At this point, I'd almost want to see a little breakdown of this trend and then recover just for ultimate conviction. I'm not just going to go and take this, but I don't think it would be a bad spot to buy through 140. I just don't trust this risk level here at 129. I feel like the risk level needs to be low a day, and I don't want to risk that low. So I'm not going to take it at this level unless we got a fake breakdown first. But again, we're getting something that's like actually setting up. So that's exciting to see. Bryce, what really moved CMCT? Was it shorts covering? Because volume is not there yet. Thanks. Yeah, listen, there's a couple of scenarios. One, it was a short that was just like market covering. Second, a chat room trying to pump it. Like that. So the crazy thing about a move like that is that literally could be like 3 or 4 people buying. Like that's how low the volume it was. Like look at whoops. We're recovering here, by the way, CMCT. Look at this, right? So we start. This is where the move starts getting explosive or expanded. GLMD, case in point, didn't have any conviction in that. That's why, again, like I would rather be patient. Because I would want to see. So what we got was the exact opposite of what I just said. We got the fake breakout first, right? We got this fake breakout first, and then the breakdown. I'd have rather seen the fake breakdown and then the squeeze out. Again, I'm not trying to sound like there's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen, but we can kind of make assumptions based on the conditions of the market. If all that does is helps us stay safe, awesome, right? But CMCT, so this range where it starts getting expansive, it trades like 20,000 shares. Well, I know a lot of traders that would slap 10,000 shares of that for not because it's actually a good setup. They're like, oh, a third day surge, and just blindly buy 10,000 shares. That's one buyer. That is one buyer in that. That could very well be one buyer in that candle. Could be 2 or 3. So yeah, I mean, then you got this little compounding effect. You've got 1 or 2 people buying, you got 1 or 2 shorts covering, and there you go. That's the move, right? And so you don't need that much. That's why I don't really like. That's why I wouldn't want to be buying that, because it's probably just a couple of people doing that. Whereas over here, we're trading hundreds of thousands of shares on something like this. This is going to be lots of trading action. We compare that to this volume, and well, I think you see the story, right? Anyway. Did I get a successful reshort on open on the 13th, swing to the 14th? I did not swing open short. No. I did make money on that short, but not much. I forgot we were together on that day on the Thursday. Yeah, I made money on it. It was so choppy. It just was not an easy trade. It wasn't an easy first red day. So kind of unfortunate. I literally I took that early loss and then I made it all back and then a little bit. And I tried it one more time and I lost a little bit. I ended just over break even on it. Again, it's just like the state of the market is chop. So the less choppy I can make it, the better. And so if I see a stock getting choppy once, I expect that it's probably going to get choppy again. ANVS starting to move a little bit lower volume. Looks like a kind of real company. Yeah, larger float. What do we got here? Oh, hold on. CMCT, we're back. Back and better than ever. Oh. Got a little bit of a trend forming here. That looks a lot more like a rejection candle. That's we had some volume on that. Probably trapped a few folks. That looks a bit more, but again, nothing No trade on it. Just fun to watch. GLMD, it's still holding up. The fact that, see, this is what I'm talking about, sketchy action, right? How are we consolidating right now after a candle like that? That is a kill candle by all means. Yet we're still holding up. That's an example of a stock that is now becoming, to me, untradeable. I don't want anything to do with a candle or a stock like this right now, even on the short side, right? Because like, I'm not going to be that convicted that we can actually go much lower. That's our highest volume candle of the day, and we're consolidating now at the same price level. Now, there's much more of a risk level. I think there's much more of an argument for a risk level at this point. Like if you're shorting it, but just nothing I want to be a part of personally. So CMCT, weird bidders are popping up. We're getting, like 10,000 shares that down at 1020. A little strange. Literally talking about this because it's the only thing to talk about right now. INV, what's this? No. Honestly, should just take this off too. So let's do a little bit of Q&A. Let's do a little bit of Q&A here. Just I want to hear some of your guys' questions. Because as Carlos here says, seems like everything's pretty choppy today. Everything's very choppy today. Yeah, just nothing clean. I like clean. The cleaner, the better. What is your op on Amex? Do you mean opportunity? I don't know. Amex is not my op, if that's what you mean. I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't see anything on Amex. I don't see anything on Amex for me that I want to trade anyways. It's back up. Again, it's too choppy. Because here's the question you got to ask yourself, right? So we're back up to near highs at this point. Oh, we just broke out. Great. We get one fake breakout and then this breakdown. Now we're getting another fake breakout and now we're breaking down again. So like, how do you buy this? Because you're going to have no conviction on momentum. You're going to have no conviction of strength because every time it's tried, it's failed. Now, listen, had this trapped a little bit better, had this halt like gone down and made a new fake low of day. So we gone straight into this fake halt up, made a new low of day, and now trapped a lot of shorts who are like, okay, now we're set. And then we re-break out. Slightly different story, but we made a higher low after a fake high a day breakout. Now we're doing another fake breakout. Like, it's just every time you buy strength, you know you're going to get bagged. So I need something with conviction in that sense. So I don't really see a trading opportunity on Amex for me personally. My question is, why are you and Matt not showing up as much anymore? As I mentioned, right? When the market's slower, listen, I'm going to be the first person to say, sometimes I'm just not here. I try to be here with you guys as much as I can because I also, it is good to practice that patience. I want you guys to be able to learn as well. But the truth is, when the market is slow and it's choppy, one of the best things you can do is not be trading. Now, I do think you guys, and I myself, I do the same thing, should be reviewing your trades that you've taken, should be studying old runners, should be taking time out of your day to go through and journal, to review, whatever that means to you. But that doesn't always mean actively trading. In fact, it almost always means do not actively trade when the market's slow. And so for me, listen, if the market sucks and I'm like, I might sleep in a little bit, So I try to be here with you guys as much as I can. But if I'm not here, I'm either busy. Sometimes I got meetings I got to hop onto, or again, I'm just not trading. So that's my personal reason. If nothing pops on your radar by 10 a.m., what time do you really come back and start watching for another one? Yeah. Listen, if nothing's on my radar, I'll probably come back around 2:30, 3 o'clock and see if there's anything. I'll check for my phone, right? I'll still check for my phone in the middle of the day. Normally I'm at the gym in the middle of the day. So I'll look and see, but Then I'll come back here and see if there's anything else exciting. Let's see. Are you continually growing your trading accounts, or do you prefer to keep them about the same size? That is totally a personal preference thing. So when the market's really hot, it largely for me depends on the market condition. Right now, and this is almost like backwards in a way, I actually really haven't been pulling money out of my trading account, and that's because I don't really spend a lot of money. Like I don't need to go spend. But when the market's really hot, I actually do like to withdraw a little bit of profits because I'm taking bigger size, because I'm going and being a little bit more aggressive. So it reduces my risk a little bit. It also allows me to like take profits from what I've made. Because the problem that I used to have is I would go through bigger drawdowns when the market did cool down and I didn't adjust quick enough. So by pulling a little bit out, I'm getting to protect my capital a little bit. And I'm able to like treat myself too. There's this nice aspect of when you've done really well, maybe I'll go out to a nice dinner, a nicer dinner than I normally would. I'm not going to Chuck E. Cheese. Instead, I'm going to a nice steakhouse, joking, of course, but like I'm able to like actually kind of see the rewards of what I've gotten to make, and keep money out of my trading account so that I don't get overly aggressive, but I'm not going to like go and pull out 50% or anything. And then like come summertime, by normally summer, because that's normally when the market slows down a bit, then I can kind of adjust and see like, how's the market looking? I'll take a little bit more out. So that's my personal way of going about it. Let's see. Bryce, what do you want to see in a long-term chart to say it looks good? Can you give an example? Also, what's a bad chart? Sure. Let's go over an example here on CYPH real quick. I like seeing daily chart setups, right? That like are a clear, good setup. Third day surge is one of these. We went over this in the workshop a little bit. So I'll give just an overall rundown here, right? CYPH had a good catalyst, a good chart, very strong volume on day one. Inside day two. So we're not getting shorts the opportunity to get out of that trade. Day three, a slight gap up and a very easy setup. That's a great long setup. It's a multi-day breakout. It's a third day surge. CMCT, on the other hand, we could say the same thing. Oh, but Bryce, it's a third day surge. Well, tell me what looks different about this chart. First of all, day two, we did give shorts the chance to get out. It gapped down 50%. Then day three, we don't gap up at all. It doesn't have that strong of a catalyst, and the volume is super low. Super, super low, right? Not real. And this is the third day surge attempt. So like just not, now we're trying this low volume breakout on day four. Not to say it can't. It very well could. If it holds up at this price level like all day long and it doesn't break down, we have a stronger case for a breakout. But right now, the volume sucks. And again, like shorts did have a reason to get out of this. So for me, this indicates that it could be a little bit trappier. CYPH, we just went. It just worked. That's how it should work. CMCT, it didn't just work. And the volume is certainly much lower now. Whereas CYPH, we had decent, I mean, not much, but decent volume on day two. It still traded shares. I mean, it still traded 40 million shares on day two when it was going sideways. CMCT, sideways day, or quote unquote, traded 700,000 shares. And on day one, it traded 50 million. So a little bit of a liquidity trap. But again, like a short could have like slowly worked out of their position for a deal of 40 to 50% gain on day two. So I like seeing stocks that are holding up with good volume, essentially looking for a multi-day breakout. Let's see. Do I know what's going on with the PDT rule? Your guess is as good as mine. They'll probably lower it next year. Who knows when? Another question, Bryce, do you prefer to trade in the afternoon when the overall market is not robust? I like to keep an eye on the afternoon, but if there's nothing moving in the afternoon, then there's nothing moving. So I'm not going to necessarily say I like trading in the afternoon, because if there's not a trade there, I'm not going to trade. But I do like keeping my eyes on it. That's when the easiest trades tend to present themselves. Let's see. Is there a replay link to your workshop? No. Nope. So again, this is, I'm just kind of working into these now, and it looks like I'll be getting to do these for the foreseeable future, but these are meant to be like really, interactive. These aren't meant to be like, you're kind of tuned out of it. You're out driving, maybe you're running grocery or doing a grocery run, and you've got it on your background on the phone. If we did recordings, that's what it would turn into. That's a lot of people would be doing other things because they can just watch the replay a little bit later. This is meant to be really active learning. So there are not replays available for them, which I actually think is pretty cool. Because I think that's a problem with a lot of traders. Like when you're studying, how much of it is really active studying? Like I'm here and fully present, right? Let's see. You say VWAP, are you using the middle VWAP? Yep, just the normal VWAP, not using any standard deviations of it. Been trading all morning, down $2. Like you said, a good learning opportunity. Good. Keep the loss small. Keep the loss small if you're going to take those trades and get to review what you did right, what you did wrong. Is the $800 for the 25K account still available? Yes, we're actually going to go over to that in just a minute. I'll give you the link here momentarily. Are the workshops at least a little beginner friendly? They are very beginner friendly. Very, very, very beginner friendly. Now, if you're a beginner, you're still going to be probably a little bit overwhelmed in a good way. You're going to have a lot to learn from. And by the way, if you show up to the workshop, I believe in the VIP package, there actually is a recording available. So if you get the VIP package, I do believe you're still sent a recording. I still want you to be present, but you can rewatch it if you got the VIP package. What you cannot do is just get a recording of the workshop. So you still have to show up for the next one and then get the VIP package. Do you come on every day or just some days? I look for your videos every day, but I don't see your videos. I come on most days, but not every day. Again, if the market's slow, I'm not going to be trading. And if I'm not trading, there's a chance I'm not going live. I try to be here as much as I can. Again, today, I didn't really have anything going on. I was up early anyways. So I try to be on at least like 3 days a week. I shoot for 5. I'm not always on 5, but I try to shoot for at least 3 days a week. Bryce, tell them you really have to study to understand it. You really have to study to understand it, guys. You do. That's why I want you guys on a slow day like today. Instead of trading, go and do some review. In fact, what I would really encourage you guys to, if I know a lot of you guys in here are in the daily income trader system and you don't even know that I do a webinar. I do a webinar right after this at 10:30 in the morning, 10:30 Eastern in the morning. That's what we do. We do review because I think it is the most important part of trading that traders underappreciate. That's why most traders don't win. Because you're not reviewing. You don't know what you're doing right. You don't know what you're doing wrong. Today is going to be a big review day for me. So we're going to go and I'm going to actually show you guys every trade that I take in the small cap rockets, so the morning rocket recap. But anyways, guys, I don't have a whole lot else to talk about. And I do need to get ready to move on over to my morning rocket review over here. So I'm actually going to talk really quick about Trade Funder because when the right trade does present itself, it is important that you're ready. This is the other thing too. You know, as we were seeing, we were waiting. I told you right out of the gates here this morning, right? Nothing was spiking my interest. Nothing was sparking my interest. You could tell the caffeine's kicked in, by the way. I went from like not being able to form a sentence like 20 minutes ago to now talking at about 1,000,000 miles an hour. But, you know, earlier this morning, I was like, I don't have a plan for any trade. Then GLMD kind of started setting up and we were getting ready for a trade. It didn't end up working. It didn't end up being a setup that I wanted to take, but you need to be ready when that trade happens, especially in a slow market, right? When there is that trade that you're ready to take, it's really important that you hit it. And if you don't have a trading account ready to go, you're not gonna be ready to hit the trade. So I do want to talk about Trade Funder here for just a minute. They're the reason that I'm here on YouTube with you right now. Trade Funder, it's a fully funded trading account. They've partnered with stocks to trade. It's think of it like a prop firm. Think of it like your brokerage account, right? And by the way, I'll actually drop this link in the chat for you. It's also in the description of this video. So if you are on YouTube, it is right there. I'll actually put it up as a banner as well, right on your screen. You can type in that link if you really want, if you're watching on Twitter and you can't click on the link, or just hop on over to YouTube and click the link that's in the description. But yeah, so guys, so fully funded trading account, they're a prop firm. The way I see it, you need a trading account to take trades. Maybe you've already got a small trading account. Maybe you've got like a $4,000 or $5,000 trading account. The cool thing about Trade Funder is that it's a fully funded trading account over PDT. It's a $25,000 funded account with $100,000 in margin of buying power. Coolest part is it's $800 plus a $99 platform fee. This is a $600 discount off of their normal pricing to get access to this account. If you go over to their normal website, it's $1,400 plus that $99 platform fee. But because they partnered with Stocks to Trade, again, we've been providing trading education to the space now for over 10 years. We've had an amazing community of traders that have come up through Stocks to Trade. And listen, not to pat my own back too much, but I've seen a lot of you guys saying that these live streams, these teachings, those of you guys who joined the workshops, those of you guys who joined my Morning Rocket reviews, this stuff has really helped. And the truth is I've been helping teach traders for about 4 years now. And I've only gotten better at it, which is pretty cool. I've only become better as a trader, and I've also gotten to become better as a teacher. So this is why Stocks to Trade and me have a relationship, is because it's something I love doing. Helps me review for myself too. I get asked all the time, why would you actually spend your time doing this? Listen, selfishly, I also get to learn a lot. It gives me extra time to review. And I get to actually share it with you guys, which is really cool. A lot of times when I do review, guys, you got to understand, I actually record myself every single review that I do. I talk through to myself what I'm reviewing. So I'm basically doing the same thing. Just people are there to watch it. But yeah, anyways, this link that I've dropped in the chat, it's going to be that $600 discount for Trade Funder because of this partnership here with Stocks to Trade. They're basically betting on the fact that you're more likely to succeed because you're showing up here every day. You're learning the lessons. You're doing it the right way. I'm like trying to drill it into you guys that you need to be reviewing every day too. So hopefully some of you are doing that. And those of you that are, you're the ones that are going to be more likely to find success. And so Trade Funder really wants to work with you. So they're going to be offering a discount. They're also offering an amazing profit split. For those of you guys who have never heard of a prop firm before, a prop firm is essentially just an institution that gives you money to trade with, and they take a small profit split in exchange. Now, most prop firms, they do a 60-40 split or a 70-30 split. I've got friends who are at other prop firms, and they're between that 60-40 and 70-30 rate. Trade Funder has got a really amazing split of 80-20. So if you make 10 grand, you're going to get to keep $8,000 of it, which I think is more than fair because they're funding you 25 grand and all you got to put in is $800. Kind of a no-brainer, at least for me anyways. If this had existed when I had first started trading, I would have been all over it. And especially someone like showing up live to actually teach every day, it would have been so much faster for me. But I'm glad I get to be able to help you guys with this at the very least, which is really awesome. Take advantage of the opportunity. Guys, click on the link. I'm not going to go through every rule today because we've just gotten, we had a lot of time to do some Q&A together for ourselves. They've got some risk management rules in place, which again, the fact they're giving you 25 grand, they want to protect that too. It's real money. Think of this as your starter account. As you grow with them, you can get access to more money and you can get access to bigger risk management rules. But for now, go ahead, click on the link that I've dropped in the chat if you're even remotely interested in it, or if you just want to see more about it. I'm not going to sit here all day and go over each and every rule because they're right there if you click the link. If you're not going to click the link and you don't want it, you probably don't want to hear the rules anyways. But it's a really amazing opportunity. It's something I wish I had access to when I first got started, and that's why I'm here offering it. So go ahead, click on that link, and every single day, don't use it. Larry, they've got videos that you can go through. Again, for me, this is not like sitting here teaching how to use Trade Funder. They've got a bunch of videos for you once you enroll. They're going to show, and they'll actually just send them to you if you just email their support, because everyone's going to want to set their account up a little bit differently. I'm not sitting here to show you guys how my platform is set up for it, but you're more than welcome to shoot them an email for any videos reaching out about that. But yeah, guys, go ahead, click on that link. And again, at the bottom of their page, they've got a support email for any other questions that you have. They'll probably get back to you in like 20 minutes, to be completely honest, support@tradefunder.com. So I'm going to go ahead and get hopping on out of here. I got about 10, 15 minutes before I got to hop on over to my next stream anyways. So guys, I hope you got, oh yeah. And one more great point to bring up. Brian says, I use my Trade Funder primarily for pre-market trading as they open trading at 4 a.m. Eastern, while a lot of other brokers don't open trading until much later. Probably one of the coolest things about Trade Funder is that, so it's a day trading account only. You can't swing trade with Trade Funder, but you can start trading at 4 a.m., which is insane. If you use E-Trade, you know the pain of having to wait until like 7 in the morning to take your trades. It sucks. It's no fun. But with Trade Funder, you can start trading right at 4 a.m. So also a really great opportunity for those of you guys that are seeing this action and these opportunities that are happening in pre-market right now. Really cool opportunity to be able to take advantage of them. So anyways, guys, I'm going to hop on out of here. Dropping that link one more time for you guys. And I will catch you guys back here tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday if I don't show up tomorrow, but I'll try to be here tomorrow for you guys. So anyways, everybody, have a good rest of your day. Click on that link. That's your homework. Talk to you soon. Bye.